If you would ever like to listen to Writing with Eirian episodes while you are doing dishes, picking up dog poop, or driving to work, head over to eirianwrites.com/writing. That's EIRIAN.com/WRITING to stream this episode and all the other Writing with Eirian episodes in audio format. Greetings and salutations, Starshine. Welcome back, sugar plums, goddesses, and misfits alike. This is Writing with Eiri, my personal podcast about my self-publishing journey with the intention to help you along yours. So, before we get into today's episode, we have a quick word from our sponsor, but we're just going to talk about what I've been working on, and that's about it. So let's dive into today's episode. Today's episode is brought to you by Eirian Writes Studios and EirianWrites.com. EirianWrites.com is what I like to call the mothership. There you will find all of the Eirian Writes books, both paperback and ebooks, as well as Eirian Writes wearables that you won't find anywhere else. Check out the recently launched Pink Candy cover artwork collection, and don't forget to sign up for the newsletter to find out when the next collection launches. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get back to today's episode. Alright, so I didn't mean to take a break from our writing club. I have been practicing for a speaking gig for the past couple of months, and I thought I was going to record my speech and put it here, but I've been having a lot of technical difficulties surrounding practicing my speech, so I'm just going to take that out of the equation. I'm not going to worry about recording it. Maybe I'll set up a camera when I go in person, but it is a teen event, so I'm not really sure how that goes. And I definitely don't want anybody on camera. So I realized that it's been a couple of months. We were all on like summer vacation from the writing, and we needed to get into the studio and just hash it out. So I apologize that there hasn't been anything for the last couple of months. Like I said, I was working on recording something to post, and then there's just been all sorts of technical difficulties, and I finally realized that I needed to separate the two projects and not record my speaking gig. Other than that, I also crocheted a dress, so follow me on Instagram or head over to my forum at EirianWrites.com. That's www.EirianWrites.com/forum to see that beautiful crochet dress. It's in like a sunset theme. It's really pretty, and I'm going to be wearing that to my speaking gig. And then I've been working on some Pink Candy stuff. Just little odds and ends, silly little Instagram reels, and some remixes and stuff. On the writing front, I have been helping my best friend Elise Thornback edit her next novel. So I was kind of putting my own creative stuff on the back burner to help her edit the first section of her next book, which I have had on me since April. So it was well overdue. I've had the first chunk of that manuscript for too long. But I'm most excited to sit down and talk to you about New Haven is Where the Heart Is, which I am just abbreviating to Finding New Haven 2, or FNH2 if you follow me on socials like Instagram and Threads. So Finding New Haven is a zombie novel that I actually created and wrote the first iteration of when I was in high school. This is a story that has been with me since I was about 16, 17. I was a junior in high school when I started writing this book, and it is about the zombie apocalypse and this girl named Harley Monroe and how she navigates through it. When I first started writing it back when I was in high school, it was not supposed to be, an Eirian rights book. It was not supposed to have the typical love and light twist on it, and so I'm really surprised and very happy that this cherished project made it through my dark era and into my era of being of love and light and being a goddess. So, New Haven is where the heart is. It's a little bit difficult for me to write, and genuinely was not even something that I was going to write, but one of my beloved readers asked where the rest of the story was, essentially. She was like, okay, this book is amazing, but this can't stop here, right? They can't just end off where they end off at the end of the first book. And this beautiful reader, she's the reason why Finding New Haven has a series and a sequel and is going to be a 3-part series now. On that note, I didn't realize I was going to do this today. I don't have a script in front of me, but my friend is sick and needs your help, and so if you go to the first link in the description, whether you're listening on YouTube or you are listening on the podcast, go to the first link in the description, which is my friend's GoFundMe, my reader who inspired New Haven is Where the Heart Is. If you don't have a way to donate right now, I totally understand. Everything is hard all the time, but share it. Share her GoFundMe everywhere you can. If you Twitter, if you Snapchat, if you Instagram, if you use Facebook, if you're still on MySpace, wherever you're posting stuff, please go share my friend's GoFundMe. She needs £120,000 for a medical procedure, and last time I looked, we weren't even at £2,700 yet, and I would really appreciate it if you shared her GoFundMe campaign. Thank you. I appreciate it a lot. I would appreciate it also if you donated. But getting these things seen is probably about 75% of the battle. So if you please just go share it with all of your friends and tell them to share it, and maybe they have a rich aunt or something that can help out. So yeah, thank you for that. It is an incredible honor to have this platform where I can randomly stop, drop, and talk about something really important to me, so I appreciate you for being here. Okay, back into it. So, Finding New Haven was not supposed to have a series, and thusly creating the sequel for it has been a little tricky. Getting back into the writing mindset of it has been a little tricky. But I'm starting to make a little headway. I just wrote chapter 9 last night, and let me just take a moment to tell you the reason why we have this little writing club, Writing with Ari. Books are various sizes. So Finding New Haven started out as a novella, essentially, and then I sent it to an editor. I hired an editor, and we lengthened it. She rearranged it. It's what you can buy now, what is available for purchase. And if you sign up for my newsletter, which the second link down below will be the newsletter, you can actually read Finding New Haven for free right now. I think I'm going to give away 1,000 copies. And then once I've given away 1,000 copies, then I'm going to change the giveaway. So if you go to the sign up link right now, there is a free copy of Finding New Haven just for you. And if you sign up for the newsletter, then you will also have access to Finding New Haven 2 updates. So I recently sent out to my newsletter the first chunk, the prologue through the end of chapter 3, and I'm waiting for feedback, but I'm really excited for those people. So books are the length that you want them to be, and Finding New Haven was a novella. It's been lengthened to a full-length novel now. I'm actually really proud of it, but it did take like 2 goes of me writing it to get it to a full-length novel. I am a lot better now. Like I said, I wrote Finding New Haven when I was in high school, and technically the books I was reading then are novella length now. So young adult novels are actually the size of novellas or more, but the cutoff point for a young adult book is like 30,000 words. That's the minimum. That's the defining point. I didn't mean to say cutoff point, for all you grammar hecklers out there. So young adult novels are like 30,000 words plus. And grown-up novels, I'm just going to call them, are 50,000 words plus, like 50,000 to 100,000. And so when I started my writing career, I was a young adult, and I was writing novels that were essentially half the length of what a grown-up novel is. That being said, New Haven is where the heart is probably going to be a novella, because it's not something that I had set out to write initially upon my writing career. It's something that I've since plotted out, and I know it's going to happen for the most part, but it's not anything that I want to linger with and like give myself excuses not to write. And it doesn't matter. That's the beautiful thing about being a self-published author. So I can write a series that goes novel, novella, novel, and nobody's gonna bat an eye at it. And actually, I think it's honestly good for reader retention to write short stories and novellas somewhere in your craft, because the way that the world is currently, although I do personally have kind of a whack job belief that we will see a reversal of this, currently the attention spans are minuscule, with the TikTok era and all this stuff. Not everybody's going to want to sit down and write a full-length novel. So if you write a shorter side story, you're going to hook more people. That is actually the tactic that I'm using with the Pink Candy Project, and I have a feeling that the next book, Pink Candy on Tour, is going to be a bit longer than I anticipated, just because I keep thinking about it, and I'm probably going to be stewing on it for like a full year before I actually get to get pen to paper, just with all the other stuff that I'm working on writing right now. But the Pink Candy Project is literally laid out to be novel, novella, novel, novella, novel, novella, novel, because A, that's the way people read. B, I don't want excuses to like take years and years and years and years to get stuff out. I would actually be working on the Pink Candy Project on Tour right now if I hadn't already committed myself to the sequel of Finding New Haven, as well as the next Keone Magnolia book, which is a series we haven't even talked about. So currently, as it stands, I am working on 3 projects altogether, but I am only writing 1 novella currently, because I realized that if you try and write, at least for me right now, trying to balance a 9-to-5 job and my writing career, this may change when I have the privilege of being a full-time author. It doesn't make sense for me to distract myself that much by multitasking. Multitasking your projects is only going to take away your focus a little bit from each project. So if I was writing the book for FNH2 and writing the sequel to #Selfish Sunday and working on tour all at the same time, then I wouldn't be able to give each one of those manuscripts my focus. So while yes, I do believe you should be working on multiple things at multiple times, they have to be at multiple stages. So I'm going to draft the first draft of Finding New Haven 2, put it into the editing stage, and then when I'm in an editing stage where I feel comfortable and feel like, okay, I can break free and let my mind wander a bit, then I'm going to go to Behind Closed Doors, which is going to be the next Keone Magnolia novel, the sequel to #Selfish Sunday. So that I can put all of my focus and energy on this one story instead of being scattered about into three separate stories, 2 separate worlds, especially because Finding New Haven and the Pink Candy Project and the Keone Magnolia series happen on 2 separate planets. #Selfish Sunday happens on Thayer, which is the same planet that Pink Candy Project happens on, and Finding New Haven is actually just an alternate reality of Earth. So that's where I'm at with my writing projects, what I've been doing this whole time while I've been absent from the YouTubes. Now I need to update you on some things about, what I've been doing behind the scenes. So in the last episode, I had a review of a bargain Booksy deal. My numbers finally came in for my paperback books. We sold 3 paperback books during that Booksy promotion, and I'm very, very pleased with that because the paperback books are almost $30. Because there's so many people who helped me with the Pink Candy Project, and it comes with an album. Like, I have to price it above $25 for that paperback. So, the Booksy promotion did significantly better than I thought it would in some ways, and not as great as it would in others, but I don't care. I'm really, really pleased, and I was able to invest in a free Booksy promotion, which is where you get onto a list of literally just free books, but they also post your book on their Facebook page, and then I invested in another round of Facebook ads because that was so successful. So this is not a paid sponsorship, this is not a paid promotion. I am just doing my due diligence and investing in these things because I am finally at the point in my career where I can invest in these things, and I know it took me a really long time to get here, and so if I can try them out for you and tell you how it goes, then maybe you will know where to direct your money when you get some holiday spending cash, some birthday money, some a bonus from your job, whatever it may be. Because these things are really important. It's really important to invest in your author career in order to get anywhere. If you don't put money into the machine, you'll never get, your little alien toy out of the frickin' 25-cent vending machine, man. And we all just want the sparkly alien toy. We seen it on the little card. We're like, I want that one. So you got to keep putting your money in until you get the sparkly little alien toy. I don't know where that metaphor came from, but hey, I hope you enjoyed it. The other thing we need to report back on is the newsletter challenge. So I thought I would post a separate video about this, but I'm just going to lump it all together and make a really long title for this podcast episode because I don't want to procrastinate. I don't want to keep this information from you. So as a part of my studies for my writing career, I listened to a podcast called The Self-Publishing Formula, or Mark Dawson's Self-Publishing Formula. I love SPF. It is the only writing podcast that I listen to consistently about how to do this as a career. And I've started listening to the podcast series all the way from episode 1, so some of the information is a little bit outdated these days, but I did a newsletter challenge where the first thing you have to do is reach out to your friends, family, Instagram followers, Facebook followers, and say, hi, I'm writing a book. Would you like me to keep you updated about it? And then you ask for their email, and you, okay, I will definitely make a separate video about newsletters, but I wanted to report back to you on this. So this is not the crash course on how to do newsletters. That will be a separate podcast. So the first step in Mark Dawson's challenge is to reach out and ask people if they want to join your newsletter. And then steps 2 and 3 are to pay for promotion. So I reached out to my Instagram followers and a couple of personal friends who I realized were not on my newsletter after listening. And I got about 10 or 13 signups. And then I did a paid promotion on Instagram, and I did a paid promotion for the Pink Candy Project to help drive sales. So I still haven't done a paid promotion on Instagram to drive those newsletter signups. But as you heard at the beginning of this episode, I am promoting the newsletter signups. Like I said, there's free downloads for Finding New Haven. So if you're interested in reading my zombie novel, go to that sign up link in the description. Lots of links there for you today. And just by asking people, I got about 10 to 13 new emails. And that's amazing because my newsletter had kind of gone a little stagnant. I've been struggling getting new signups. And then I haven't paid for newsletter promotion yet, and I will have to report back on how that goes. But what I did do is I completely revamped my Instagram page. And so instead of saying like just really vague buy my book stuff, now it says that, I'm an author, I write sci-fi, self-help, immersive fiction, like all this stuff. And then it also says free book download with a pointy finger. So if you go to my Instagram at Eirian Writes, which is at EIRIANWRITES, you'll see my bio is pretty straightforward now, and it wasn't before. And I had listened to a YouTube video. I have no idea what her name is, but there's a goddess mindset coach. I swear to God, she's like the only other one out there. And she had a really good video about upping your Instagram game. And as soon as I changed, literally the same day I changed my bio, I had a sign up. I haven't had any sign ups since, but I had one. My Instagram bio was working since I changed it. So I'll have to report back on the other promotional steps that Mark Dawson recommends. But let me just say, the first thing you need to do is canvass your friends, your family, and your social media followers to see who wants to hear about the book you're writing. And then put those names in like a text document if you have to. Go sign up for MailerLite. It's free. I've been using MailerLite for free for 3 years. Or if you're not ready to sign up for a mailer like a platform to mail out your stuff, you can do it through Gmail. It's pretty tedious to do it that way, but I do have a couple of friends who are going that route to start off, just to get their newsletter built and start the practice, because the hardest thing is getting yourself to do it, and you just have to do it. So what I've been up to is working on my newsletter game and writing the Finding New Haven sequel. I am really excited to share the Finding New Haven sequel with you, because it's not something I ever knew would exist. So, like I said, go down to the second link in the description. I don't know. There's a lot of links. Go down to one of the links in the description. Sign up for the newsletter so you can get the free Finding New Haven copy while you still can. Like I said, there's only 1,000 copies available. I don't know. Hopefully you hear this in time. And when you sign up for the newsletter, you'll get updates on my progress report, and I will not mail out the full manuscript. I promised myself I will not email out the full manuscript, but I will post probably half of the book on my website, which that link is only available if you sign up to the newsletter. I do not post the updates for Finding New Haven 2 on my social media. It is something exclusively on my website. So go check that out. Another huge favor, like I said, share my friend's GoFundMe. She needs help. Do me a favor, share this podcast with your friends who are also writers, because I need help getting off the ground with this. I also have to pay to post this podcast now. On YouTube it's free, so it'll always be on YouTube, but as far as the audio version, getting it out to Spotify and your favorite streaming platforms, I do have to pay for the hosting services now. So if you could do me a solid and go at least check out the line of hoodies and t-shirts that I have in my shop on my website, which is the sponsor. Go get yourself an Eirian Writes hoodie. That's kick-ass. Go get yourself a Pink Candy Project hoodie. That's awesome. When was the last time you read a book that you could go buy a hoodie and an album from the main character? It's awesome. It's all an immersive experience. So help me out. Go buy a hoodie, support this podcast. Or you can tell your friends about it. Go download a book. A book is a much lower cost investment to you than getting a hoodie or something. But the hoodies, there's so many of them. I only have 7 books out right now. So, also, you don't have to read a hoodie. You can just wear it. What is that? Oh, my favorite writing channel. There's no writing with Eiri shirts yet, but I am getting EW Stuidos hoodies made, and I'm very, very excited. And as soon as I have those made, I will be posting on Instagram. Also, side note, I am trying to move away from regular social media stuff. There's some really weird things going on with free speech and things of that nature. So the other way you could do me a solid and support this podcast is by going to my website and signing up for the forum. The link is in the description. I also gave it earlier. There will also be a link at the end of this video, a personalized invitation for making it all the way to the end of the video, but I wanted to reach out to you personally in the content and not just throw in my canned ad, Go sign up, because the only thing about the Eirian Writes forum is that I don't have time for rude people. So if you're being rude, you have no place in my community. But there's some pretty scary things with free speech, like I said. And as writers, we are the protectors of free speech. We are the innovators of free speech. And so it's of utmost importance that we have a community and a place to go where our speech is safe. And that place is EirianWrites.com/forum. Thank you so much for listening today. I appreciate you for being here. I know this was a really long episode compared to some of the other ones, but you know what? I am long-winded sometimes, and sometimes I don't have very much to say. And it's so funny because I didn't script this one. And all of my other shorter videos I scripted, and when I look at the scripts of them, they look like they'll take up 30 minutes plus, and then when I get in the studio, it's like a 10-minute episode. So there's some variety. There's some spices in this pantry, baby, and I hope you enjoyed. Anyways, until next time, Starshine, may peace, love, light, and happiness always be with you. Now let's go write and conquer the world. Ciao! Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Writing with Eirian. As a token of my appreciation, I would like to personally invite you to join the Eirian Writes Forum. I have built a place for us to talk, chill, and network that is totally decentralized. No Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter, just an old school forum for you to chat and congregate at like the early 2000s. Head over to eirianwrites.com/forum. That's EIRIANWRITES.com/FORUM to join today.